We are projecting that Diane Preston will take the presidency. I repeat, Diane Preston will be the next president of the United States.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Diane Preston, do solemnly swear
I, Diane Preston, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You don't understand. I have to get in. She's very particular.
Are you ready to get to work?
Always. So the party sent over a list of their policy requests now that you're in office. Some are doable, some are absolutely impossible.
Typical.
Did you want to have a look?
Yeah. Public funding for federal election candidates may be doable with some pushing. I like that. Let's start writing up some stuff to send to Congress. Okay. I'm also liking the proposal to renegotiate NAFTA. We're going into negotiations, and I, for one, think that little Nanaimo bar up north is soft. Draft some notes for what we want renegotiated. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Please cross out anything with free in front of it. Free healthcare, free university, free Wi-Fi. Not gonna happen. I personally would not like to be burned in effigy anytime in the near future by some deplorables who think public funding is code for communism.
Done.
I just want to work towards real goals instead of wasting time and energy on pipe dreams, you know?
I 100% agree.
Like, the party is in complete la-la land. Look at this. I have to fight to keep the Environmental Protection Agency open, and they just put green energy on the list.
Did you want me to cross it out?
Cross out all the requests that have green in them. Come in.
There's someone here to see you.
Who?
Josh Gold.
Josh Gold? I thought that meeting had been pushed back to next week.
Apparently he didn't get our email.
Fine. Send him in. Thank you, Chris.
Good morning, Madam President. I'm Josh Gold. What an absolute honor it is to meet you, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Gold.
And what a morning it is. Just beautiful.
Is it? I haven't been out.
I distinctly remember waking up this morning and thinking, this would be a great morning for turning a new leaf.
I really don't have time for a meeting. I mean, with all these reports and that phone call soon with the German Chancellor.
Oh, well, this shouldn't take any longer than 15 to 125 minutes.
Chris emailed you about rescheduling.
He did say something along those lines, but unfortunately I never got that email.
Emails can be tricky sometimes.
Don't we all know it?
Tread carefully, Mr. Gold.
Now, before we begin, I just want to make it clear that this is a safe space.
Mr. Gold.
Josh, please.
Josh, this seems unnecessary. I think I can handle some polls.
Madam President, can I call you Diane?
No.
Madam President, what we're about to talk about is not meant to hurt your feelings.
This can only help you be the best president you can be. The president I know you are. Like I always say, popularity leads to policy.
But sometimes you're not going to like what we have to say.
Just try to keep an open mind.
I'm sure it's not that bad, but I'm willing to keep an open mind.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid right off. I've been talking to Josh here, and you have some serious image issues that need to be addressed.
To avoid your presidency becoming an absolute shit show, serious action needs to be taken immediately.
In terms of image problems, what are we talking here?
Well, your first post-inauguration approval numbers are in, so if you want to turn to those, they are on page...
26%?
Oh, no, that can't be right.
Oh, you're on the wrong page. Those are the numbers for drafting babies into the military. Your numbers are on page 3.
Oh, of course, I'm sorry. 24%? I'm less popular than drafting babies?
Yeah, we know. We were surprised too. This is a whole new policy area we never even considered.
Although, now that I think about it, we could give it a shot. I mean, it's like toddlers and tiaras, but with the military. It's bound to find an audience.
This could be exactly what you need to boost your approval ratings.
We are not drafting babies into the military.
Okay, so we can start with an open carry policy for toddlers. See where that takes us.
No one wants their toddler to have a gun.
Not if they're Mexican. But if you turn to page 14, you'll see the approval ratings for that are at 37%.
Open carry for toddlers is ahead of me by 13 points?
Correct.
Well, I didn't want to believe this, but sexism is still alive and well in America.
You see, that's an interesting take. That's what we both originally thought was happening here.
Those were dark, dark times for me. Imagine one simple pollster and billions upon billions of dollars to defeat a systemic institution designed for me.
I'm sure it kept you up at night.
Fortunately, we ran a lot of focus group testing, and it's not sexism. I even factored in the double standard to my formula, but you're still a well-educated white woman, so that closes the gap to an extent.
Okay.
Despite our initial theories, when asked about having a female commander-in-chief, 67% of the sample answered favorably.
Oh, well, that's good.
You've come a long way, baby.
So what's the problem?
In so many words, and I mean no disrespect, Madam President, it's you.
Don't be ridiculous. It's not me.
I wish we could say it wasn't, but it's true.
We asked people to rank female politicians from both parties in order of preference, and you came in dead last 84% of the time. Even threw Taylor Swift in there to spice things up a bit, and she ranked ahead of you 96% of the time.
And she has quite a reputation.
The only reason you're at that desk right now instead of taking nature walks is because you were lucky enough to be running against a walking, talking illiteracy PSA.
And vote-wise, you were pretty neck and neck.
Thank God you helped get rid of that electoral college when you were in Senate. Like, who knows what would have happened?
I don't even understand how you got the nomination. Literally anyone else would have been a better choice.
Honestly, I'd never even thought of running for the presidency this time. I was practically done with all this. It was a couple of dear friends in the party who felt I was the right fit and pushed for me to run. What can I say? They told me I was the natural choice. I didn't want to do it, but everyone was begging me to.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
If everyone was begging you to run, then why is your support so... And this is a technical term.
Who knows? All I know is it's your job to fix it. I don't even know why we're still talking about this.
Right. It doesn't matter anymore.
The only thing that matters now is getting your approval ratings up. Like I always say, popularity leads to policy.
I have some suggestions on how we could handle this. We can sit down and sort it out, but it's going to take some time.
Done. Let's get started.
Don't you have a phone call with the German chancellor?
She can wait. Good morning. I will not be taking questions at the end of this meeting.
You were way too stiff in front of the press. You need to loosen up a little bit.
The American people don't want a president with a stick up their ass. They want someone on their level. So try and be more happy and relaxed next time.
People respond to what they see, so if you're happy and excited, they will be too. About you.
Try interacting with the press a little bit more next time, but keep it light.
Today, I have some very big and exciting news for the American people. I love sharing exciting news with all of you. John, I love that tie. Maroon is really your color.
We all know maroon is no one's color, Amy. It's a fashion faux pas. Nobody likes it.
I'm wearing maroon right now.
Exactly.
Diane Preston is snuggling up to the free press and trying to undermine our democracy.
When we said happy, we didn't mean like too happy, you know?
When you're too warm, people feel it's disingenuous.
Try not to interact with the press anymore. Your human interactions make people uncomfortable.
If you will turn your attention to my right, you'll notice this chart which highlights how our manufacturing jobs are clearly in decline. You'll also notice how our infrastructure had decreased in correlation with the state of our manufacturing jobs.
No one wants a lecture. Don't just talk all business.
Try to lighten the mood a little, throw a little joke in here and there.
So, two congressmen walk into a bar. One's a Republican, one's a Democrat. They both sit down for some drinks. The bill comes, they sit and debate how to pay it. 2 years pass. they get up and don't pay the bill.
So forget jokes.
Just stick to what you're good at.
Policy.
Well, we don't have the insight to know if a decrease in infrastructure spending has affected manufacturing jobs. I'm currently working with both parties to come up with a bipartisan bill that will fix both of these issues.
You have got to smile more.
What?
Here are the last 3 photos taken of you by the press.
Point taken. Any questions? Yes.
Madam President, how did you respond to the reports that you sold Uranus to the Russians?
Well, I'd like to point out that I do not have the power to sell planets to the Russians because Uranus is not an American territory. I'd also like to point out that that report initially surfaced from the Diane Preston is Killing American news organization, so I do have to question their methods and biases. Next question?
Madam President. Madam
Yes.
President. Yes, Madam President, you recently changed your stance from being opposed to GMOs and bananas to being for it. Does this have anything to do with the fact that you just received a large donation from the Banana Republic lobby? Are you colluding with Big Banana?
To clarify first, Banana Republic has nothing to do with the sale of bananas. They just have the word banana in their name. Also, secondly, I've just been informed that we have been genetically modifying bananas for hundreds of years to make them more edible and nutritious. Next question?
How do you respond to the controversy surrounding your pink pantsuit?
By all accounts, the pantsuit was peach. But I will try in the future to take my wardrobe into more careful consideration. I think that's all the time we have. Thank you.
Any further questions can be directed to me.
Yes, right here.
Okay, yes, you in the back.
Welcome back to AMM News. I'm Amy Hooper, former world-class journalist, now talking head. The clip you're just watching is of President Diane Preston at a press conference. Now, we're having a slow news day today, so we're going to talk about this in extensive detail until something else comes along. Let me introduce you to our panel of political analysts. We have Kendra Christensen, the young, bright, right-winged political analyst who personifies the fact that if you're pretty, nobody really cares if you're not in touch with reality. We also have Dr. Graham Elnay, who is a professor of political science at the University of Columbia. Really, he's the only qualified person to be talking here. We also have Adam Duke, professor of history at Idaho State College, and a YouTube vlogger with potential fascist ties. Now, let's get to it, shall we? President Diane Preston seemed a little bit uncomfortable during her press conference. Why do you think she reacted that way to reporters?
It's clear that the only thing making Diane Preston uncomfortable is the truth. To discount the reports of her selling Uranus and GMO-free bananas to the highest bidder just highlights how corrupt she is.
Always elevating the conversation, Kendra. Graham, what do you think?
Well, I disagree entirely. I think the president was quite poised while she fielded those insulting questions from the media. I think we need to take a hard look at our media outlets and see if these questions are giving the people the information they need. I mean...
Okay, I'm going to stop you there, Graham. You know, we only have a certain amount of time, and you're hogging up all the limelight. Adam, what did you think?
Well, I think this was a very bad day for the Preston presidency. Historically, if a president can't even keep a smile going for 20 minutes, it means they've done something wrong, and they're trying to hide something.
No, it's entirely untrue. Having a hard time smiling is not a direct connection to the president to any wrongdoing.
Really? Well, I would like to point to Nixon, who was a historically sour-faced bastard. And, well, we all know what happened to his presidency.
It's clear. She's selling America to the highest bidder, and her face says it all. Guilty.
Graham, you do have to admit, the president did seem a little uncomfortable.
The discomfort we see in the president is clearly nothing. If anything, her discomfort looks more like indigestion, if anything. I personally would blame flatulence ahead of fraudulence in what we see here.
Let's take another look at the clip. The president did seem a little constipated in her stance.
Exactly. Constipated seems exactly the right word for it. She looked like she would rather be on a toilet than on the podium. This is a completely different kind of discomfort that Adam and Kendra are suggesting.
You know, I rarely agree with Graham, but I do have to admit, she did look like she was full of shit.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, I can't have you all agreeing on something. That will lower our ratings.
Here's to the ladies, the fair and the weak. Fair they are, we'll all admit. But who dares call them weak? Our modern girls play as hard and with as much vitality and stamina as any man. How do they do it? Where do they find all that energy, that seemingly inexhaustible store of pep and ginger?
Coming up, baby food, or is your baby food? You'll never guess what actress and mommy blogger Tamara Ashton is recommending as a new health food. We'll give you a hint. It's a modest proposal. And now for our top news story tonight. Allegations are being thrown at the president. Is the president constipated? We have our panel of analysts to add to the confusion. We have cute and naive AMM news correspondent Emily Bowman, strong and sensitive Jude Santina, and our two commentators you love to hate, Kendra and Adam.
Amy, I'm just a little bit confused. Who cares if the president is constipated?
Are you kidding me? So typical of the left. Always willing to ignore the real issues if it doesn't suit their narrative.
I too am a bit confused. Don't we have real international issues we should be discussing? This just seems like the least of our problems as a country, to be honest.
Keep up, Jude. This is a big debate going on. It's been happening all around the country for 5.5 hours, and it needs to be addressed and politicized right now.
Guys, let me clear this up for you. Has there been a Twitter rant released today by the Oval Office insulting immigrants?
No.
Has there been a radical group of terrorists complimenting the president or committing horrendous acts in her name?
No.
Are we on the brink of nuclear war?
What? My God, no.
Then this is our top news story tonight. And if you don't want to talk about it, we will gladly pay other people who will. Jude, it looks like there's something on your mind.
Yes. I just wanted to say that I'm not saying that the president is constipated. But if she was, it would in no way affect how she would, how the president would run the country. And I take cash or check.
One of those nights. You know what the problem is. Your system isn't doing its job. Constipation. A very real problem at times. Where do you turn? To the laxative more people turn to than to any other, to X-Lax.
But if the president can't handle eating enough fiber, can she really handle the nuclear codes?
That is a great point, Adam. I would also like to point out that if the country was under attack, would she be fit to protect us, or would she be stuck on the toilet? This constipation conversation is bringing up a whole bunch of issues that, frankly, Americans are concerned about.
Some constipation is not a life or death issue here.
Constipation can be a symptom of many underlying conditions. Colitis, bowel disease, even opioid abuse.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Graham, but have you seen the president's medical records? No, because nobody has. What is she trying to hide?
Call me crazy, Amy, but Americans should know if their president is abusing opioids.
Ah, yes, Prime Minister. So good to hear from you. Have you seen the latest draft of... oh, yes, I did receive your mother's cabbage soup recipe. Very lovely. I really appreciate it. Yes, I sent it to our kitchens immediately. Thank you. And now, to get back on topic, I wanted to ask you about... Pardon me? Yes, your note did mention it helps with digestion. Oh, yes, it did help very much. Thank you. Now, about the trade agreement. No, of course I'm feeling up to the trip. Not to worry. Of course. We can discuss it then. See you in Tokyo.
Now, tell us, doctor, what can extreme constipation do to the body?
Well, Amy, it can be pretty serious. It can cause behavioral mood swings. Diverticulitis, in which the body becomes clogged up with feces, can, in some very serious cases, result in death.
Whoa, death? Are you telling me that the president's life could be at stake here?
While no one has contacted me directly to have a look at the president, in the world of bowels, you never know. I would say that these could be potentially the last days of President Preston.
I want you to look at these before we send them over to Congress. They're my demands of them. I want a battle plan on how we're going to push every single one of these policies through.
All right. I should have these done by the end of the day.
Great. Oh, hey, I have to tell you the weirdest thing that happened today.
What?
The president of Finland sent me this huge gift basket, and you won't believe what was in it.
What?
Bran muffins. Every single one. Isn't that weird? I mean, who sends bran muffins as a gift?
That is weird. Maybe the Finns like to be regular?
Maybe. I just thought it was funny. Thought it would make you laugh.
It is funny. Bran.
If you are just tuning in, we are on day 7 of the ongoing constipation allegation that has plunged the White House into scandal. Today, we have an exclusive interview with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Brian Saul.
Hello, Amy. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us. Now, why do you think that the President has been ignoring these allegations?
Well, Amy, I think is rooted in the fact that the President fundamentally does not want to be transparent with the American people. Look at her track record. She is constantly trying to shroud herself in secrecy.
Do you think the President has something to hide?
Well, at this point, Amy, I think the President's actions speak louder than words. If she's got nothing to hide, why has she not publicly responded to the American people's questions?
Mr. Speaker, if you were in her shoes, what would you do?
Well, I would have come out sooner, and as soon as the questions started to arise, instead of hiding within the White House. Am I disappointed that the President won't answer these questions? Yes. Am I surprised? No. This is the President's MO, entirely.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us and to conduct...
Oh, don't tell her. It'll be fine. It'll all go away.
It still might go away.
It's been a week, Josh. A week.
Well, maybe something terrible will happen and they'll forget all about it.
Totally. Such a good plan. Let's just wait for something terrible to happen.
I just don't understand how they get constipated out of smiling.
Because she's Diane Preston. She's my friend, but every time she has to smile for more than 5 seconds, she looks like she's in pain.
All right, well, let's just go tell her and start damage control.
Oh, I'm not telling her. You're telling her. It was your idea to start with this whole smiling thing in the first place.
I will tell her, and then we'll start damage control.
Can we call the Canadians about this whole lumber problem? Jenna, can you stop laughing? I can't help that it's called stiff softwood.
Pardon me, Madam President. Miss Seth and Mr. Gold are here to speak with you.
Oh, okay.
They said I should clear your schedule.
Then clear my schedule.
Okay, will do.
You three, we're done here. We'll talk about this later. Get out.
Madam President?
You know what? Just call me Diane. I think we're there, you know?
Madam President, have you been watching any cable news recently?
What? No. I'm president of the United States. I don't have time to sit around watching cable news. What's going on? Is everyone warming up to the smiling?
They've taken note of it. There's just this one small, just little...
Minuscule. Barely even there.
Little wee thing. It's a little... It's an issue.
What's the issue?
Before we begin, I just want you to know that we're here for you.
Okay.
And this is nobody's fault, especially not our fault.
And finally, I'd like to conclude today by addressing a concern surrounding my health. There's been speculation recently about the state of my digestion and intestines, but I'm happy to report that I'm well and in fit condition to continue to steer this country in the right direction. Any questions?
Yes. To be clear, Madam President, are you constipated?
No, I'm very regular.
Madam President.
Yes?
So, on the record, you are having a bowel movement every day.
Every day,
Madam President.
Yes?
Would you be willing to release your medical records to prove that you are regular?
No. Well, I'm in fit condition. My medical records are private information and not for public consumption.
Madam
President. No more questions. I'd like to thank the nation for their concern, but I'm perfectly fine.
For those of you just tuning in, that was the president clearly stating that she poops every day.
I'm sorry, Amy, but I'm going to need to see more proof of that.
Yeah, the word of a known liar like Diane Preston isn't exactly putting my mind at ease on the issue.
Kendra, what more do you need?
Thank you. Do Adam and Kendra want to hold her hand as the President of the United States shits?
Please, Emily, there's no need to be gross about this issue.
And another thing, why are Kendra and Adam on every segment? Like, I can count on one hand how many times I've been on screen.
Yeah, like we keep changing and they stay the same.
Guys, we shouldn't be asking why these two psychopaths that we dredged up from the bottom of a sewer are now AMM's top political analyst. We should be asking what we need to say to convince these two that the president is dropping bombs overseas, if you know what I mean.
You know, Amy, this is the typical narrative of the Preston supporters. They live in a bubble filled with unimportant questions like who's going to get a platform and a megaphone for their every thought and whim instead of dealing with the real issues.
That's right. This isn't about who gets to sit on their ass all day, every day, spouting their political agendas. It's about whether the president shits.
Guys, the producers love it when you squabble, but if it gets monotonous, the viewers will change channels. So let's switch gears a bit. Did you think that the president looked uncomfortable while discussing this?
Oh, of course she was uncomfortable. I can't even talk about bowel movements with my wife. It must have taken incredible courage to stand up in front of America and admit that she uses the bathroom.
Where did Emily go? She was literally just here.
Emily, she had to leave, but let's stay on point. Adam, what do you think?
Please, Diane Preston is barely human, let alone a woman.
I mean, she looked constipated as she was telling the world she wasn't constipated.
Let's roll tape.
So for the sake of being clear, you are indeed defecating, generally in a toilet?
Yes, that is correct. Always in a toilet.
Yeah, the president does look very uncomfortable. What are your thoughts on how she reacted, Jude?
Yes, Amy. The president was asked if she uses the toilet when she has a bowel movement. Any person would feel a little uncomfortable in that situation.
Listen, Jude, if that is your real name, if the president used the toilet, as she stated, then she wouldn't be uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, Adam, are you saying that the president doesn't use a toilet when she shits?
No, listen, what I'm saying is there are two options here. Either the president is lying about using a toilet, or she's lying about being constipated.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Actually serious?
Well, looks like that's all the time we have tonight for that very interesting conversation.
You can't just leave it open-ended like that.
Okay, bye. Now, coming up, we have Congress Fight Night, which begs the question, will people start watching the news over Netflix if we have two politicians kick the literal shit out of each other? Stay tuned to find out here on AMM.
Chris?
Yes, Madam President.
I can't find what I'm supposed to be working on next.
You're scheduled to meet with the Japanese ambassador in 10 minutes.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, she canceled about an hour ago. Your next meeting is in 2 hours.
So can you bring in some more of my daily reports?
You don't have any more. You've gone through all the reports today.
Can you get the British Prime Minister on the phone?
She's on vacation.
Can you get the Minority Leader on the phone, please?
He's actually on a flight back home. Could I suggest perhaps taking a break?
Well, I guess I have to since everyone else is sleeping at the wheel.
Irregularity, I suppose you know all about laxatives. Well, there are stimulants like the candy types, bulk types, lubricants like mineral oil. What do you think doctors recommend most often? Milk of magnesia. Doctors say it's thorough yet gentle. So when you suffer from irregularity, get Phillips milk of magnesia. Phillips is thorough and gentle. And Phillips is the kind of laxative doctors recommend most often. That makes sense.
We take you now to Emily Bowman, who is on scene in front of the White House. Emily, what's going on?
Well, Amy, my sources within the White House are telling me that the president has not passed a motion today.
And how do they know this information?
Well, my sources are telling me that while the president did use the facilities at 2:47 this afternoon, she did not touch the Oval Office's air freshener.
And within the last week, has the president made a bowel movement?
No, Amy, my sources are telling me that they are privately very concerned about the president's health and that she is not doing well.
Is there any more information you've gathered from the grounds?
Well, I can confirm that there is a crowd steadily growing outside of the White House. Most are just very active citizens. Some are Nazis. All of them have one question on their mind. When will the president release her medical records and prove that she's fit for office?
Is the crowd violent?
At the moment, no, but every crowd does have its tipping point. As the president continues to ignore growing skepticism surrounding her health, we as a nation are reaching a boiling point. Everyone is wondering, when will the president release her medical records and end the speculation surrounding her health?
Emily, can the crowd be appeased?
Well, I don't know, Amy. They are, after all, Nazis.
Thank you, Emily. Now, this is the latest picture we have of our president at a UN conference for nuclear weapons. Now, I'm going to ask the question that's on everybody's mind. Does she look bloated?
Madam President, I have Eva, Seth, and Josh Gold here to see you.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Send them in.
Madam President, it is lovely to see you.
Thank you.
It's such a
beautiful morning, I know.
Yes, it is. I'm surprised you had a chance to see it. You've been so busy all week.
So busy.
You know, with that UN thing.
The stuff you did at the UN.
That I did. It has been so crazy around here, it's just been work, work, work. Hardly a second to myself. But please, make yourselves comfortable. How can I help you? Better yet, how can you help me?
Well, Madam President.
Please, just Diane. This is a safe space, remember?
Diane.
Wait, before we begin, would you like some tea?
Tea?
No, thank you, Diane. What Josh is trying and failing to say is that while most people have moved from the topic, there's still a little bit of chatter about your condition.
The constipation, to be clear.
Oh, I had completely forgotten about that.
Yes, while most people have moved from the topic, there's still a couple of critics. We thought some sort of confirmation might help.
If people are really looking for confirmation, why don't we, I don't know, just release my medical records.
I'm sorry, what?
Just release my medical records. You know I'm all about being transparent, and I really just want to move past this. We all have bigger issues to deal with here.
Great. I'm so glad you understand.
Okay. We'll just get this sorted out with the White House physician, and then...
That sounds great.
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 Great. Let's go sort this out.
Did you want me to stay? We haven't gone through our weekly schedule yet.
No, that's fine. I need you placed where you can help me the most.
Okay, I'm just a phone call away.
You always are.
Our top story tonight, the president has released her medical records after questions of her fitness for office have gained traction. The president has been under constant speculation regarding her bowels and digestive system. So we have the world-renowned bowel expert and soon-to-be TV host, Dr. Jean Aberdeen, with us tonight. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you for having me, Amy.
Thank you for being here. What's the prognosis, doctor?
A clean bill of health, Amy.
Really? Talk us through the report.
Cholesterol, perfect. Blood pressure on the higher end, but still normal. Weight, a little pudgy. Most importantly, bowels seem to be regular.
Oh, what a relief. We have an hour-long documentary coming up next week about how this whole thing has been blown out of proportion and how it is not our fault. But before Dr. Aberdeen leaves us, I will be gathering a panel of political analysts to go over the president's weight gain.
Hey.
Oh, hey. To what do I owe the pleasure? Is everything going okay? You know, with the whole medical records thing?
Yeah, everything's going fine. It seems to be going over great, actually.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
If everything's working out, then what's wrong?
I'm just a little confused is all.
About?
This whole funding for federal elections thing. You know, trying to cut big money out of the system. I've been at the front lines of that. You know.
Yes?
I've been trying to get something drafted. I've been going back and forth with members of Congress on your orders, mind you.
I'm aware.
Just trying to get this bill sponsored is going to require burning some pretty big bridges. I've been telling people not to worry, that you're going to stand behind them.
Of course.
So, will you?
Of course. I mean, probably.
Probably isn't really good enough. I just got an email from an editor asking to confirm a story before they run it. Basically says that you told a reporter if this bill goes through, you wouldn't support it. Did you say that?
I mean, technically, yes, I did say that.
Why would you pull a 180 like that and not say something to me?
I was just concerned. There seemed to be a negative reaction to it. I didn't want it to hurt my numbers.
Hurt your numbers? First of all, as your presidential advisor, I get to say what's hurting your numbers. And second of all, you don't do that shit behind my back.
I fixed something you weren't paying attention to. I can't lose any more approval ratings. Like you always say, popularity leads to policy.
But you don't screw over policy for popularity. And definitely not behind my back.
I am not going to lose everything I've worked for by standing behind pipe dreams. You've always known that.
There's standing behind pipe dreams, and then there's avoiding making real change because you're scared.
Look at me. Look at where we are. I'm the President of the United States. Everyone said I couldn't do it, but I did. I don't walk away from things that are hard. I rise above them.
Yes, you're in the Oval Office. Great. It's been a hard road, but we were on that road together. I thought that when we got here, we were gonna make this place a little bit less shitty for everybody else.
I'm trying.
Well, try harder. Did we get here so you could sit at that desk or so you could get shit done? Is there anything else I should be made aware of?
Breaking news. This is an AMM News exclusive. A prescription script for President Preston has been leaked. What for? Citrus magnesium, a heavy-duty laxative.
Amy, if I may note, citrus magnesium is one of the most powerful laxatives in the bowel community. It is only used in some of the most extreme cases.
What does this prescription say about the president's health, doctor?
Clearly, the president is full of shit on both accounts, Amy.
The liar needs more fiber. The liar needs more fiber. We will not abate. Constipate gate. We will not abate. Constipate gate. We will not abate. Constipate gate.
Well, Amy, things have turned a little scary. We've got a lot of chanting and marching going on.
What are they chanting?
Well, they were chanting a lot of things. Earlier today, it was "Go to the can, Diane." Another one was "The liar needs more fiber." And well, right now, the most popular one seems to be "We will not abate constipate gate."
Constipate gate.
Yes, that's what the protesters seem to be calling these revelations about the president's health.
Emily, are those torches I see?
Yeah, I think someone made a run to a depot. They have tiki torches.
And Emily, what are they throwing over the fence?
Well, from as far as I can tell, they're throwing poop. They're throwing poop over the fences.
Poop. They're poop.
I don't know, Amy, but I do know I missed the studio.
Keep us updated, Emily.
We will not abate. Constipate gate. We will not abate. Constipate gate. We will not abate. Constipate gate.
We have to go into damage control right away.
Damage control is so dramatic. Can we try not to be so dramatic?
Dramatic? They're literally throwing shit, Diane.
And what are you doing to fix this?
This is not about what we're doing. This is about what you didn't do, and now we're all in a bunch of hot doo-doo.
Look, it is not my fault. There's not 1 ounce of fiber inside this house. All they serve here is meatloaf and ice cream. The last First Lady had to build a garden just to get a vegetable past these gates.
Can I say something?
No! That's it, we're all going on the road. You have to show that you're fine and fit for office.
Oh, no, I don't. I have trade negotiations next week in Tokyo.
Oh, yes, you are. The Prime Minister called and canceled due to fear for your health. Say goodbye to Tokyo and hello to Idaho.
Welcome back to AMM News, where we report this shit as it happens. Just confirmed, President Diane Preston will be traveling across the country to speak at multiple engagements and rallies. Many theorize that this comes amongst the latest Constipate Gate allegations. Now, is this a smart move for the president, or does it just stink?
This stinks with corruption. I'm sorry, Amy, but the election is over. The president should be working on policy, not pandering to her base.
Amy, this has nothing to do with pandering. This is about the president showing that she is in fine fighting form for the American people.
And how do we know that she's in fit condition for office? These rallies are just going to be like everything else that comes out of Diane Preston's mouth. Lies. When is the White House just going to come clean about the fact that the president's medical records were forged?
Forged? The president is in the best shape of her life.
Jude, there were discrepancies between the medical records and the leaked prescription. How would you explain that?
The White House has not confirmed that that prescription was legitimate.
The White House has also not denied that the prescription was legitimate.
Listen, this is insanity. Constipated or not, this tour is about the president connecting with the American people. And I think this is a good move on her part.
Constipated or not, I'm sorry, Graham, but we cannot live in a world where we let the president get away with lying without consequence.
The president is as transparent and clear about her health as her bowels are, Kendra.
If the president is as clear and transparent as you say, Jude, she should not only be prepared for an investigation into her health, she should welcome it.
An investigation? Well, an investigation would be interesting. I doubt the House would waste government funds investigating something like...
Good evening. I come here tonight to announce that I have just authorized a new oversight committee to investigate into the president's health. After conflicting reports and unsettling accounts that have come to my attention, it is of the utmost importance that we have confirmation that the president is in fit condition for the office that she has been placed within. This is not about partisan politics. This is about setting the record straight.
Mr. Speaker.
Bowel health is no laughing matter and should be taken very seriously. Colonoscopies are a fundamental tool in preventing and diagnosing serious health conditions as colitis, Crohn's disease, and colon cancer. Preventative medicine is the best medicine, and that is why today I will be publicly undergoing a colonoscopy in the hopes that I might set a positive example and save thousands of lives in the process.
Does this have anything to do with questions about your health?
She could be all right.
And that was President Diane Preston, who is in the first leg of her tour. Now, she'll be spending the next 4 weeks visiting every state. She'll be spending most of her time in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Now, this tour is in response to the wild speculations on the president's health. There's even an investigation being spearheaded by Speaker of House Brian Saul. We take you now to an AMM poll to see how this tour is affecting the president's popularity. Now, as you can see, the president's popularity has risen by 0.5% since the announcement of this tour. To help me analyze this, we have brought our senior political analyst, Dr. Graham Elnay.
Thank you, Amy. I'm really excited to see that this costly state tour is doing such a good job for the president. Look at that poll, Amy. This tour has catapulted the president's popularity.
Now, should the White House be concerned of the 45% of people who voted meh when they were asked about how Diane Preston was doing?
No, in my professional opinion, meh is a very positive response. I mean, if the people were dead set against President Preston, they would have said so.
Do you think there's any way the meh could be turned into a yeah?
Well, not exactly. I think the meh response can easily shift to a response, which has the potential to turn into votes.
How so?
Well, can quickly shift to I guess she's the best choice I have, which has been the key to Diane's success in the past.
Well, that is great news for our president, but this is lowering our ratings. So I take you now to our top story tonight.
Constipation can be a problem for anyone. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset, no discomfort.
Rumblings in the Capitol. As Speaker of the House, Brian Saul appoints himself as head in the investigation committee on #ConstipateGate. Now, will this issue simply be flushed away, or will it be plugging up the presidency for good? We have Brian Saul here to answer my pressing questions. Now, what can you tell us about the ongoing investigation?
Well, I can't go into much detail right now, but I can say that there has been some big revelations.
Really? How big?
Big.
Now, could these revelations potentially harm the presidency?
Well, of course, I can't state officially, but I wouldn't bother unpacking if I was the president, if you know what I mean.
Really? Are you implying that you're going to impeach?
Amy, it's a joke. I kid. Obviously, I can't comment.
Okay. What do you have to say to your critics who are saying that this is a partisan act against the president?
Listen, this isn't about party politics. This is about finding out the truth. And I think we'd all like to know the truth.
Some people are calling it a bitch hunt.
Amy, please. This isn't about the fact that the president is clearly unpleasant. Some might even say a nasty woman. But there's a bad smell coming from the White House, and it's our job to figure out if that smell is crap or corruption.
Some may say it is your job to come up with the occasional law.
That's an honest mistake, Amy.
Are you honestly telling me that if it was a member of your party in the White House, that you would still be investigating this issue?
I'm insulted you even have to ask. If there's something foul going on in the White House and I smelt it, I would definitely investigate to see who dealt it, no matter who sat in the Oval Office. And if that foul stench was corruption or collusion, I would pursue prosecution to the highest extent, no matter what.
So this luncheon is exclusively for your supporters and some truly inspiring activists. Great for photo ops and also a great chance to show the world that you still have supporters. Before you go up to speak, we have mommy blogger and actress Tamara Ashton coming to speak about you and women. It should be a feel-good moment for all.
Tamara Ashton? That's quite impressive. How did you manage to get her?
We got her pretty easy, actually. She's already on a press tour, so she might mention her new book or new movie or new line of perfumes. But either way, it's going to be great.
Hello, my fellow sisters. I am so pleased to be here with you today. It is such an honor to be part of this strong collective of motivated and inspiring women. This group of women who have collectively shared in the harsh realities of oppression. I was just talking to a woman here today, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, who was forced to share custody of her child with her convicted rapist. That is absolute insanity. Who knew rapists got convicted in this country? Recently, I also dealt with the devastating realities of oppression. In my new Academy-nominated film, I Am Lo Mein, which tells the beautiful story of a Chinese bead maker and her relationship with her dog. I played the lead role of Lo and only made $25 million, which per minute was less than the man who motion capture acted Kiki, the dog. Our president is an inspiring woman who has continually proven that being a woman should not hold us back from having a voice. While President Preston is leading this charge, we all have to work together to make these goals possible. That woman I spoke to, I'm sorry, I just can't seem to remember your name, lit herself on fire in an act of protest. I wore black to the award shows this year. We all understand that these acts of civil disobedience are what make our collective oppressors uncomfortable, and their discomfort will lead to change. Thank you once again for having me today. This has been amazing. And don't forget to check out my new book, Why Stop at the Placenta? A comprehensive guide into baby food.
Thank you, Tamara, for coming here today. Your words have inspired us all.
Thank you.
Can I just say, how cool is the president?
So cool. This is a surefire way to reach out to the millennials.
Yeah. I'm not impressed.
That's because you're a boring white man.
Yeah.
This is the type of Hollywood elitism that alienates voters.
Exactly. And this Tamara Ashton woman, well, she can only speak for people who like to eat kale. I can tell you, that's a very small number of Americans.
So, how long until our next event?
30 minutes.
Still mad at me?
Not thrilled.
I'm sorry about the election funding thing. I wasn't trying to undermine you. I actually thought it would make your job a little easier in the long run.
And?
I'm sorry about this whole medical records fiasco. Again, I thought I was helping.
But you were...
Wrong. I was wrong. I had a camera shoved up my butt. I was wrong. And this isn't about me sitting at the desk. It's about changing the world in any way we can, even if it's small. I'm sorry if I made you feel like that had changed.
We've been through worse.
I know. You've always been there for me, through thick and thin. I can't say that about a lot of people in my life.
Diane.
I mean, remember when I got that perm?
Oh, please don't remind me about that.
It was stupid to go behind your back like that.
It was, but now we have to stick together. You have to trust me.
Agreed. No more secrets.
Thank you.
Are you ready to get to work?
Oh, always.
Welcome to AMM News, the news station that doesn't take a break even though you wish it did. Today, we have breaking news. A subpoena has been issued for the White House doctor, Dr. Edgar Blass. The question on everyone's mind: should the president be concerned?
They've subpoenaed my doctor.
Yeah, seems pretty standard. Wouldn't be too worried.
This is moving too quickly. It's going to come out that I've lied, and when it does, it's going to be a mess.
So when it comes out, you get a little slap on the wrist, a little blowback. By the time midterms come around, it's gonna be old news.
I hope so. It's just, I hope my actions aren't misconstrued, twisted.
It might be, but it seems pretty cut and dry. If you keep worrying like this, your biggest concern's gonna be your wrinkles.
It's just once I talked to him, he was very accommodating.
Okay.
If Blass says something, it could be twisted into something.
Potentially illegal? I'm kidding. Did you actually do anything that bad, though?
No.
Why are you so worried then? Do you think Saul is gonna try to impeach you? We'll laugh him out of the office.
You seem pretty sure.
Because I am sure. It's my job to know people. By this time next year, we're gonna be laughing about this. You just have to listen to me.
I can do that.
Even over Eva. She works hard, but she's just not an expert. She gets herself all overworked, like that law fiasco in Congress. She got all riled up, but you pulled away and your approval numbers went up. She should be thanking you for pulling out of that.
Yeah.
Just listen to me when I say, it's gonna be all right.
Hi, I'm Eva Seth, and I have had the pleasure of working next to our President Diane Preston for over 10 years now. She's a woman who has broken the ultimate glass ceiling, and she never takes no for an answer. The very first day I met her, I was inspired by her.
Oh, please.
No, it's true. That's why it's my pleasure to moderate this amazing town hall event where President Preston will be answering all of your questions and concerns. Now, let's start with our first question.
Hi, I'm Denise. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. I have a young daughter who I brought with me to the polls when I voted for you. And when you won, I felt like the world just opened up for her, And you're such an inspiration to all of us. I know despite all of the drama, you would never lie about your health. Do you have any advice for my daughter to become a strong, independent woman in this new age?
Yes, I do. First, I'd like to thank you for voting for me, and thank you for believing in me. I appreciate every single person who used their vote to place me in this office. This country has changed so much for the better in the last couple of years, but I would tell your daughter that the victories that we win today does not give her a free pass tomorrow. There will always be people who will tell you you can't do this or that. People who want to see this country stall instead of move forward because it would inconvenience them. I would tell your daughter to stay informed, enlightened, and ready to fight for what she believes in.
Thank you, Madam President.
Great. Maybe let's move on to our next question. Oh, there she is.
Hi, I'm Charlotte from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. Graduated from Michigan State.
Congratulations.
Thanks. But I'm $100,000 in debt, and my monthly payments go towards just the interest. I can't even make a dent in what I actually owe. Are you going to do anything to fix this loan system?
Yeah, we're looking into that right now. There's a committee. I remember when I first finished school, it was hard to find my place in a job that paid me what I was worth. We've come a long way since then. Equal pay wasn't around then, and we still have a lot more work to do.
Thanks.
Okay, maybe another question?
Hi, I'm Sandra. I'm from Newport, Rhode Island. Me and my family are having a really hard time making ends meet. I work 2 jobs. I had a baby on a Friday and I had to go back to work on a Monday because I couldn't afford to take time off work. Is there any point where we'll have paid maternity leave?
I actually helped women get maternity leave. Is it unpaid? Yes. Is it only for 12 weeks? Yes. But before that, we didn't even have that. I went right back to work after I had my daughter, so I understand the struggle.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Great. I think we have time for another question.
I lost my job.
Where are we gonna get some fucking gun control?
Listen. My whole career has been about making individual lives better. I've always strived for that. I understand we need change in this country. I hear you loud and clear. But I think we can all agree that change that's too fast, too radical, it hurts this country. Only slow change will keep this country steady while moving forward. I'm not going to promise you the world. I'm only going to promise you what is actually possible today.
Thank you, Diane. All right, we have time for just one more question, and there's a gentleman up front here who looks quite eager.
Yes, I have something I really need to say. Diane Preston is full of shit. The liar needs
Can we get some security
fiber.
up here?
The liar needs more fiber. The liar needs more fiber. The liar needs more fiber.
Today's shopper has a choice of so many brands, especially in bathroom tissues. So many brands, yet most of them are so much alike. But one brand is outstandingly different. Wonderfully soft Delsey.
Hi, I'm Amy Hooper. Once talking head, now pooper scooper. Last night, an unknown brown substance was thrown at the president. Now, the White House has yet to confirm what that substance was, so we have our junior AMM news correspondent Emily Bowman here to help us out with her new segment. Is it poop or is it pudding? So, which one was it, Emily?
Well, Amy, we've been experimenting all day, trying to figure out if this substance was in fact poop or pudding.
And they say we don't do investigative journalism anymore.
Here we have pudding. I'm going to be throwing it about 6.5 feet away from this target, because that is the approximate distance between the president and the protesters during the incident. We're going to see if the pudding splatters just like what was left on the president's poster.
That sounds almost scientific, Emily.
That's what the producers thought as well, Amy. Well, Amy, I think we can say that the pudding has left quite a splatter, but it does not match what was found on the president's poster.
Can we see that again in slow motion?
Now I have a bowl of poop.
Interesting. Is that human feces?
I'm not sure. This is just kind of what the producers handed to me. It does look to be human, but I don't know. All I do know is that I will be throwing it against this target and seeing how it compares to the splatter of the pudding. Well, Amy, I think we can confirm that this pattern is a lot more consistent to what we saw on the president's poster.
Now, this is all speculation, so we can't say for certain, but it seems to me that someone threw shit at the president.
Yes, Amy, we are going to have to wait to see what the White House has to say about this. But I think we can confirm that shit definitely sticks better than pudding.
Thank you, Emily. White House physician Dr. Edgar Blass has just suddenly announced his resignation. We have his statement. At this time, I am saddened to offer my resignation as White House physician. I wish nothing but the best to the president, but I look forward to spending my time with my family. Let's get our panel out here because we might actually have some news. Guys, what do you think this says about President Preston and her position?
She's guilty, Amy.
I bet impeachment papers are being written up right now.
Okay, this isn't a great moment for the president, but I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that impeachment is a very long and difficult process. You can't just throw it out there all willy-nilly, Amy.
Let me just point out that impeachment is meant as a worst-case scenario. It's meant to be used if the country goes crazy and elects a corrupt, unbalanced, fraudulent person who may or may not have ties to a foreign country, not for someone whose doctors resigned.
The president can be fraudulent and flatulent at the same time.
There's nothing here to either condemn the president or to give Brian Saul grounds to impeach. Really, this is just speculation.
Sorry, not sorry, but you're wrong again, Graham. Have you not heard about the latest report about the president's personal physician? After her medical records were released, Dr. Blass's private practice received a $500,000 renovation. So, where did that money come from?
His resignation is basically an admission of guilt. She bribed her doctor to lie on those medical records.
You can't just accuse the president of bribery on national television, can she?
Our producers are telling me she can.
Now, technically, Brian Saul can pull the trigger on impeachment at any time, but he knows no law has been broken. Congress is still not controlled by people wearing impeach party hats.
Now available at DianePrestonIsKillingAmerica.com.
They have a responsibility to vote with their conscience, not curry favor with an increasingly radical base.
Radical? Only Muslims can be radical. We're just passionate Americans.
And Brian Saul has a responsibility to his most impassioned supporters. He had no problem empowering us when he needed us angry and at the polls. He's definitely not going to forget us now.
What is happening?
It's not that bad.
It looks pretty frickin' bad, Josh.
So what? The doctor resigned.
Suddenly and unexpectedly.
It's just a tactic to try and pull down Diane's numbers. We should just ignore it.
We can't just ignore it. We have to go back to Washington and regroup. This could get serious.
We can't go back to Washington. It's gonna hurt her public image. It's gonna look like she's guilty and trying to hide.
We have bigger things to worry about right now than just her public image.
We just need to ignore this and stay on the campaign trail. We can't risk losing her base supporters. Think about the midterms.
The midterms? They're gonna take her to court.
You really think they're gonna impeach her? Over what? Constipation? That's ridiculous!
I don't know. It's the only thing they can use against her, and I can't put anything past this guy.
You're overreacting like you always do.
What did you just say?
You're right, Josh. That's crazy. We should just ignore it.
Good morning, America, and welcome to AMM News, the station that makes the mess and does not clean it up. Today, Brian Saul, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, has called an emergency press conference. We go there now, live.
It is with a heavy heart that I am forced to come before you today. Revelations about our president have been brought forward that we cannot simply ignore. While there was speculation about the president's health, she is in fact not fit for office, not in her body and not in her soul. My party and I cannot ignore a president with constipation. Diane Preston conspired with her physician to fake her medical records and to the American people. The president has used intimidation, coercion, and her office to lie to the American people about her fitness for office. This is why, after much consideration and reflection, I am putting forth a vote for the impeachment of the president.
Congressman, under what clause are you issuing this vote?
High crimes and misdemeanors.
I'm sorry, what qualifies as a high crime or misdemeanor?
Totally subjective. It's whatever I want it to be.
Will you be running for president?
You can bet your bottom I will.
Catch a commercial?
So I guess we should go back to Washington now.
You don't say.
Well, when you're right, you're right. So, guess we should go start packing?
You know, that's a good idea. But I have an even better idea. Know what it is?
What?
You go ahead of us.
Okay.
You go ahead of us, and I want you to make sure you're listening really closely because this part's important, okay?
Okay.
You go to your office, you pack up your things, and leave. How's that sound? Oh, no, seriously. Don't wait. Just go. Nope, I said don't wait, just go.
Well, I could...
Go!
Welcome back to AMM News, the creme de la merde of news organization. Our top story tonight: the world as we know it is imploding. President Preston is facing impeachment. The vote has already passed through the House of Representatives and is on its way to the Senate. This may be the lowest point in our democracy. The question on everybody's mind: how did we get here? We turn to our analyst, Dr. Graham Elney, whose new book, A Look into the Shit Politics, is now a #1 top seller. Jude Santina, who is getting his own AMM TV show. And Emily Bowman is back from news exile. We also have a new guest joining us tonight, Mr. Josh Gold, who is a former advisor to President Diane Preston. Thank you for being here tonight, Josh.
Thank you for paying me, Amy.
Hey, where's Adam and Kendra? They're always here.
We here at AMM News no longer associate with former correspondent Kendra Christensen and Adam Duke. We, as a serious news organization, do not associate with demagogues, and we do not promote their ideas on national television.
That's new.
That's also what's allowing us room for your TV show, Jude. Now, back on topic. Josh, how do you think the president got herself in this situation?
To be honest, Amy, the president was resistant to listen to her advisors, and that caused problems from the beginning.
That does make sense, Amy. The way the president has carried herself since her inauguration shows a complete lack of understanding of the current political times we live in.
Exactly.
Interesting. After the break, we'll be analyzing the number of votes it takes to impeach the president. Stick with us at AMM, where the news makes us sad, but the ratings make us happy.
Think about it. When the decisions of one man can affect the future of your family for generations to come, what kind of a man do you want making those decisions?
Hello?
I am not leaving.
Diane, I know this is hard.
No. I am not leaving.
Listen, I don't want this any more than you do, but I can't stand by and watch them tear you apart in front of the entire country. It's gonna be messy. They're not gonna play nice. It's going to get personal.
Personal? I have given my whole life to get to this office. How much more personal can it get? They'll have to drag me out.
They will! They will drag you out! Doesn't matter if it's by your own free will or in chains, they're gonna drag you out, Diane.
For what? Some shit? Some constipation? I am not a criminal. No one is going to stand by and let them do this.
Would you wake up already? It's not about the shits!
They were gonna come for you either way, and you just gave them the way.
Do you know how many people I've helped? How many lives I've changed? Why isn't that enough? Look at all these letters. All these people who support me, love me.
We both know that's not enough. We both stomped down public support in order to get you in front. Some people can move past that, but it's stuck to you more than any good can ever do.
People believe in me.
And no one has believed in you more than I have. But I'm telling you to leave with your head held high.
So what? That's it? You're just gonna give up? Abandon me like everyone else?
Diane, I've loved you like a second mother. We have been through thick and thin together. But I know when the show's over. And the show's over.
Holy shit.